Okay, so we are going to start King's Quest II Romancing the Stones, which is the remake of King's Quest II Romancing the Throne. It's a fan remake, so it is free. So I put the link in the description as to where you can find this game and many of their other games as well. I'm not going to talk as much during these, but I will talk a bit. So it's going to still have a bit of commentary, but it's going to kind of be on the down low a little bit more. So anyways, let's get into it. This one here has a lot more story to it than, say, King's Quest 1 that we just played last Monday. It will take a few weeks to get through King's Quest 2. I normally play in about 3 to 4 hours, so that's going to be roughly about 3 to 4 weeks that we're going to be playing King's Quest 2. Yeah, let's get started. Let's hope this works. Okay, so it's going up really good. Perfect. Now, again, this opening tends to have a little bit of a problem. Hopefully it won't be too bad. Anyways, here we go. King's Quest 2, Romancing the Stones. Okay, so we're back to this sort of screen again. And just one sec. I'm going to actually mute myself while we play the introduction. And I'll start my voice again after we get back to the screen, okay? I'll see you guys after the introduction. Enjoy.
Your Majesty. King Graham?
Oh, yes, Minister,
Gervain, sire.
Of course. My apologies, Gervain.
Not necessary, Your Majesty. After all, I've been your security and defense minister for but a short while.
Yes. Where did you say you were from again?
Just some small, insignificant land to the far south. Pales greatly in comparison to your realm, my lord.
Ah, do you have something to report?
As a matter of fact, my liege, there's a small concern regarding the duty shifts of some of the castle guards and of the countryside patrols. Also, we are expecting our armed entourage from our nearest neighbor to return within the week. And there is the matter of an alliance with... My liege?
My apologies again, Minister Gervain. Please, continue.
Yes. As I was saying, there is the matter of an alliance with Hesperia. They've become a strong nation now, and it may be prudent to show our willingness to support them, lest they decide we are more of a hindrance than a help.
Does the king there have any daughters who've come of age?
I do not believe so, sire. As for the security arrangements for the royal ball held last week, I do believe the evening went by very smoothly. I dare say just about every princess in this region attended, and not one lost slipper, to coin a phrase.
Ugh, please, do not remind me.
Indeed, they were none too fetching. Would you like me to go over your plans for today, my lord? Very well.
Oh, forgive me once again. I am afraid that my mind wanders much these days. I wonder if my predecessor experienced times like these.
No doubt. Though I did not know King Edward the Benevolent personally, I understand he was a happy and astute man during his married life, before his wife passed away, that is. If I may be so bold, perhaps my lord is feeling that certain rooms in his castle are somewhat sparsely filled. The throne room, for example, and other rooms that serve but a single soul, like your dining room and your bed chambers.
Perhaps, but I do fear I've met no such candidates that would fill the rooms you have mentioned.
You should not lose heart, your majesty. If you pause to reflect for but a moment, you may see clearly what is hidden to others.
You gaze into the mirror. The minister's words seem to echo in your head, if you pause to reflect for but a moment. Not that you've been doing much else lately. For many weeks now, you've been reflecting over the direction your life has taken. While Daventry has prospered under your wise leadership, so far your existence has been a dreadfully lonely one. Wait, the mirror is changing. As you watch, you begin to see a series of images, though you struggle to fathom their meaning. You recognize the landscape. It is Kalima, a land not far from Daventry. You see the most beautiful woman you have ever set eyes upon. Somehow you can feel her sadness and her intense desire to leave that place. She is a prisoner in that tower.
Did you find what you were looking for, sire?
I require my ship ready for transport, Gervain. I shall be going on a trip presently.
Indeed. Where shall I tell the captain you'll be heading?
To Kalima. I have to find someone.
I see. Well, if you must go, it is my duty to ensure that you leave prepared. Arm yourself, sire. I hear Kalima is not the safe haven it once was.
Of course. I shall take the sword of the first king, as is my right.
A wise precaution, sire. And, if I may be so brash to ask, who might you be seeking?
If all goes well, my bride.
Father,
Sister Agatha,
how may I be of service?
an opportunity has arisen, sister. I trust you still have your captive held securely away.
Of course.
A bit cruel keeping her locked away like that, do you not think?
No. How dare she flaunt her beauty in front of all to see? Her foolish male admirers see her and forget that I was the most beautiful of all in my day.
And in your own special way, you are still beautiful.
You devil!
That is not an unfair description.
Now, you mentioned a service, I believe.
Yes. The King of Daventry has advised his faithful minister that he shall be departing for Kalima presently. On a quest, you might say.
Really? What kind?
The kind that involves sticking his neck out to rescue a damsel in distress.
And what have I to do with his neck?
Put simply, my dear, sever it.
Okay, so I'm back. Just gonna... Let's begin the game.
A day's journeying from Daventry has found you by the shores of Colima. Your ship, the Grand Thithor, and its crew have deposited you and will return the day after tomorrow. Hopefully, this will give you enough time to locate and release the imprisoned woman you saw in the magic mirror. Your vessel has safely transported you from your homeland of Daventry, finally depositing you on this pier in the land of Colima. As you watch the flagship of your fleet depart with pride, you also sense anxiety building within you. Once it is gone, you will be quite alone in this country. A sturdy wooden pier stretches a short distance from the shoreline and ends here. Either the carpenters ran out of wood or decided that this was as far as it needed to go. You went to see what you could see. Now all you see is sea.
Okay, so let us play this game. I do have a little bit more memory with the original King's Quest II than I do with King's Quest I. In fact, I don't know how much I played King's Quest I as a young kid. Also, hoping that opening video thing worked out okay. When he sees the girl in the mirror.
You untangle the net from the pylon and take it with you.
You don't want to hang out here too long. In fact, can I speed him up? Let's go speed. I don't want to die. There. So yes, you can die in this game just like you can die in the other game. So yeah, I do have some memories more with this game than I did with the first one.
The fallen picket feels reasonably sturdy and is pointed at one end. Believing that you may find a use for it, you retrieve it and carry it with you.
My favorite game as a kid was King's Quest III. And I kept always telling, like I would always say to my mom, oh, can you put in King's Quest II, King's Quest II? And my mom would be like, that's not the game you want to play. And I'd be like, no, it is. And then next thing you know, she put it in and it'd be King's Quest II. And I'd have to pretend that, yeah, that all along that's what I wanted to play. So my memory of King's Quest II, the original, was that I thought it was King's Quest III. And then I was stuck playing it. And I didn't like it as much as King's Quest III. So, because King's Quest III was my favorite. Not that it's like a horrible game for King's Quest II, but it wasn't my favorite, so. That's my memory of it. We'll definitely have a little bit more memories going on with King's Quest 3 when I play it, even though we're going to play the remake. There's still a lot more. I do love the story for that one a lot more. Let's go up here. Again, the screen is not the full screen, so like the background on my desktop right now actually has a picture. It's from King's Quest 5. And I just looked over at the side there and I thought that something was there and it wasn't. It was just from my background. Oh, perfect. We can talk to this little girl. Let's do that now. I'll shut up.
Hello, who are you?
My name is Graham. What is yours?
Possum. That is what my grandma calls me. She is not at all well these days. I was collecting flowers for her, but now I cannot anymore.
Why is that?
My basket is missing. I've looked everywhere for it. It must be around here somewhere.
I will keep my eye out for it.
Thank you, Graham.
I was wondering, could you tell me anything about this land?
You mean Kalima? There is a town to the northeast, and a church not far south of that. Grandma and I live in a house near the beach. You should not enter the swamp to the north. It is said to be influenced by magic. Many have easily lost their way in there, and finding your way out again is difficult.
Thank you, Possum. Is there any way at all through this swamp?
I do not know, but I did see someone walking out of there not long ago. He was writing something in a book as he walked.
Who was that?
A monk from the church.
You mentioned that your grandma is not well. What ails her?
I'm not sure, but I think it gives her sad dreams. While she sleeps, sometimes she talks out loud. Sometimes I listen to her. "No, do not leave me," she says. At first, I thought she was speaking to me. I would go over to her, but she would not notice me. Then I realized it was a dream. I think she misses the person she talks to in her sleep. And then there's the scary dreams.
You mentioned that your grandma had scary dreams. What are these dreams about?
Bats.
Bats?
Yes, in her sleep, she screams with fright, as if a bat is chasing her, or she's being hurt by one. Then she'll say something like, "Blue light is the bat's true bane," over and over.
Blue light? What does she mean?
I have asked her this, but she just shakes her head at the moment I speak of it.
Thank you, Possum. I wish your grandma a swift recovery.
Thank you, Graham. I will speak of you to her.
You have nothing more to say to Possum.
Okay. So she'll wander around and we gotta look for her basket. Let's head out this way.
You had better note that in your log. You look under the log and discover a clam lying beneath it. You pick it up. You open the clam and discover, to your surprise, a dazzling pearl.
So I'm gonna go through right now and do all the like little things before we get into any of the quests. We probably won't get into any of the major quests until after, like, till the next week. So this video is not going to be as exciting. I might read this letter because it's short.
You open the mailbox. Inside there is, incredibly, a letter addressed to the resident. You decide to leave it in there. A card has been dropped in it also. You read it.
Have you been missing church services lately? How long a while since your last confession? There still is time yet to repent your sins before the final hour. Come to the Church of Kalima to pray for your own salvation, or just make a donation. Put your faith back into the church and walk the path that has been laid down before you. Hours from dusk till dawn.
You replace the card and close the mailbox.
Let's see, can we knock on the door?
You attempt to open the door but find it is locked. You think you can hear the sound of labored breathing inside and decide against causing any further disturbance.
Okay. Oops, actually we can go up here. So little...
The beautiful blue lake has a clear and pristine quality. The beautiful... It is a baby bird, and not a terribly pretty one at that.
So we have, like, what, an ugly duckling? Perhaps we should catch it.
Don't throw that into the lake. You walk into position and try to catch the baby bird. You throw the net over the pond, and the baby bird is caught unharmed.
Yay! So now we have a baby bird. Will come in handy. A lot of these things I'm doing that, like, it's kind of like, well, why would you do that? But it's all part of these little side quests that you get points for, so... And you get items that you might need later.
You peer into the depths of the dark hole. As luck would have it, you discover a beautiful set of earrings hidden inside. Each one is laced with glittering diamonds and contains a lovely blue sapphire stone in the center. Perhaps someone stashed them here. At any rate, you take them into your possession.
Okay. Just gonna go down here real quick. Back up.
A large lemon tree grows by the path.
Let's pick one.
You reach out and pluck a large, juicy-looking lemon from the tree.
I love lemons. Okay. Yeah, to kind of keep a little bit more of a story going, let's do this. Actually, we'll do this part first. Go over here. We see some...
A beautiful, majestic white swan gracefully glides across the lake.
Well, we have an ugly duckling that might turn into a swan. Maybe it was a lost swan duckling.
You release the little bird into the pond.
Kind of cute. Let's grab the feather.
You pick up the white feather and put it carefully away.
Okay.
You look for a nice, large pumpkin to take from the patch.
Hey, watch it!
Oh, sorry. I was not aware you could talk.
Likewise. Anyway, be careful where you're treading. You're spoiling the good soil by standing so close. And I got 8 kids to feed.
You glance at the smaller pumpkins. These must be her children.
I only count 7.
Yeah, well, I had 8. Then some strange man who spoke even stranger came by. He claimed to be a hortico. Claimed to know a bit about plants. I let him take a look at my little darlings. Anyway, before I knew it, he'd gone and pinched one of my babies. Took off towards the town, he did. Of all the nerve. Just because we're plants doesn't mean we don't deserve any respect.
I am sure that is true.
Okay, so this guy took off towards the town. He took one of her babies, so keep an eye out when we get to the town for a baby pumpkin that can talk. We're gonna head down here now. Okay. I don't know if
You notice a thick rope dangling loosely against the trunk of the tree. Upon closer inspection, you see that the rope actually runs away from the tree and into the thick grass on the forest floor. This is obviously a trap. 3 gold coins shimmer in a nearby patch of grass.
So we gotta do something about that trap before we can get those coins. So let's cut the vine. Now we can get the coins.
As you pick up the gold coins, they suddenly turn dark. Now they resemble ordinary metal. Wait a minute. This isn't gold. It's fool's gold.
Okay. Let's head up here. So yeah, there's a lot more going on in this game than there is in the original. So if you really want like a really good story to play, I would totally suggest getting this game.
When you peer into the hole of the pine tree, you see a mallet lying there. You pick it up and take it with you.
And really, I'm doing like all these like short little quests now in this video, and we'll probably get more into the game, the story part of it, the next video. So this kind of gets you started if you do want to download the game and play it. You can sort of know how to play at least these first little parts and then go from there.
You see a man bending over the fountain. He appears to be trying to retrieve something from it.
Aha! Got him.
Okay, we're going to pay attention to them in a little bit. I want to go in here first.
May I help you?
Yes, I was hoping to enrich my knowledge of this fair land by way of perusing your historical texts.
My, that was well put.
No.
Not terribly effective, though.
Pardon me, perhaps I was not clear?
You were.
Then may I?
No.
Why can't I?
You are not a member.
Well then, can I become a member?
No.
Why can I not become a member?
We already have far too many members. It's difficult to keep track of everything.
How many members are there?
2.
If I may inquire, who are your 2 members?
You may not. Neither the Count of Kalima nor the elderly gentleman who lives next door would approve of my divulging that information to you.
Ah, thank you anyway. You mentioned the Count of Kalima is a member of this library.
Yes.
Have you seen him recently?
The librarian looks at you strangely.
No.
Is there any way I might meet the Count?
Yes.
How?
Die.
I would have to die to meet the Count?
Depends.
On what?
Your importance.
And if I am important?
Then you might be fortunate enough to be buried on his estate.
Who is buried on the Count's estate?
Counts.
Aha. Past Counts, of course. Anyone else?
Yes.
Who?
Him.
Pardon? Do you mean the Count is dead?
The librarian decides to avoid your gaze and seems disinclined to speak further with you on the subject. The librarian seems disinclined to speak further with you.
Okay. So I just want to do that. So we know that there's an elderly gentleman next door who has a library card.
There appears to be a sign on the door, but you need to get closer to read it. The door is plain and has a mail slot. It also has a sign posted on it. You read it.
Family of the deceased wishes to thank all who have expressed their condolences over the passing of their loved one, Frederick. Enjoyed life and literature and had an ever-present, if sometimes wicked, sense of humor. May his soul be at peace in the realm of the dead, and may its Lord judge him worthy of eternal happiness.
You also notice something sticking out from under the door. You are unable to retrieve anything from there.
Okay, so you can't reach it, but what we can do is use the picket from the fence and slide it out.
Making sure that no one is watching, you slide the wooden picket under the door and draw out what appears to be a letter. You open the letter and read it. Dear applicant, please find enclosed the library membership card to which you are now entitled. The 5-year application process has concluded, and we are pleased to inform you that your status as a member of the town library is confirmed. Welcome to an exclusive group of patrons. Yours sincerely, Town Librarian. P.S. Please sign your name on the card to ensure validation.
Will you accept this?
No.
Why not?
It has not been signed.
So we wait until she looks away.
You quickly grab the quill while the librarian isn't looking and sign your name on the blank library card. You replace the quill before the librarian notices it missing.
Will you accept this?
Yes, you are younger than I expected.
I eat well and get a lot of exercise.
I see.
So, what do I do now?
Borrow.
You mean I can take books from this library?
No.
Oh,
Yes?
could you recommend a good book?
There.
This book is entitled Kalima, Perfect One Day, Better the Next. Browsing through it, you notice an interesting excerpt.
So I'm just going to sort of like pause it on here a little bit. You guys can kind of take a quick read through it if you want. I hope you guys are able to read it okay, because I don't know how blurry it might be. We're going to do this. There's several books you can get, and I suggest doing the first book now, and then, because there are ones you'll miss. If you do not get books until like near the end, you'll miss out on getting books. So let's get back into it. Can we ask for another one or not?
You have nothing
Okay.
else to say at the moment.
The next one will come after we get some more information. Okay, so let's talk to this guy.
Greetings, merchant.
Ah, to you, good day. Shh. A visitor arrived new, no? A sense I possess for these things. Need you have for my wares of great specialty?
Perhaps, but first, I'm curious. Where did you come by such a pumpkin?
Eyes quite keen, have you? Indeed, a specimen unique it is.
Mama! Me want Mama!
Be quiet.
The gift of speech among plants so rare, yes?
Quite so. Are you planning to sell it?
Sell? Never would I sell such a thing as this.
It'll make me incredibly rich.
I mean, entrusted it was to my care. Watch over it, I must.
Mama! Take me back to my Mama!
Forget it. I'm not taking you back to that patch. So pipe down.
Pardon?
Ah, of importance I speak not. Trouble to your ears I meant none.
Okay, let me see if I can talk to the pumpkin.
Mama?
No. Sorry.
You consider confronting the merchant about the theft of the pumpkin, but as a stranger in town, you don't want to cause a scene. Perhaps a more subtle approach is in order.
Okay, remember when we first saw this guy? And he was checking out the fountain and he got some coins? Well, we have some coins that aren't real coins that we can throw into the fountain.
The fool's gold again shines the instant the coins leave your hand.
Perfect. So now we'll go and talk to him again, and it automatically will say something else.
3 coins in the fountain.
What? Let me see.
Okay, so you have to act fast here. Grab the pumpkin and go. If you don't, then you lose your chance of getting to get the pumpkin. And now we're heading back out of town. I hope you guys could hear me okay with the music being a little louder. But like I said, we're not going to talk too much when there is a lot of music going on anyways, for these 2 videos anyways. Okay, so here's the pumpkin, so we'll give her back her baby pumpkin. I believe this is one of the last ones we have to do before we get to find out a whole bunch more stuff. So let's do this, and we got a little thing we got to do afterwards, so lots of talking going on. I'm going to shut up for a bit. We can listen to them talk.
My baby!
Mama!
Thank you,
Graham.
thank you, Graham. Here, take this. Maybe this useless trinket of Haggadis will be of some use to you. Serves you right for not enabling me to protect my kids.
The pumpkin hands you a gold brooch with a beautiful blue sapphire.
Is there anything more I can do for you?
Me thirsty, Mama!
Now that you mention it, my baby is feeling a bit poorly. After all, living in a bowl ain't too good for your health, you know.
No, I did not know that. What would make your baby feel better?
Fresh water, naturally.
Of course.
Not too sweet, though. In fact, the more bitter the better. My children are very particular about what they drink.
I will see what I can do.
Okay. So we're gonna go down here. I want to be able to go quickly down because there's some scary parts here. Run, Graham. There we go. Okay, so we can get some water here.
You fill the bowl with the fresh spring water.
And then we'll just go up here. Grab this basket.
You take the basket.
Oh, that's the last one we gotta do, that's right. Okay, before we give the water to the baby pumpkin, remember they wanted it to be a bit more bitter, so we'll take the lemon and put the lemon in the water.
After using your sword to cut the lemon's surface, you squeeze some of its juice into the bowl. Then you discard the lemon.
Okay, so now we'll pour it over the baby pumpkin.
You pour the bitter water over the baby pumpkin. It seems to like that.
Thank you again, Graham. Here, take this.
The pumpkin reaches into her head and pulls out a candle, which she then hands to you.
That thing has been jammed in my head for as long as I can remember. I know it ain't much, but maybe you'll find some use for it.
Thank you.
Don't mention it. Besides, it's really hard for me to sleep with that thing lit up inside my head all night.
Okay, so we're going to talk to her for a little bit, and then we'll go to Possum and give her the basket.
A word of warning. Hagatha has been talking about you. I heard her mention your name while she was muttering to herself. She does that when she's inspected her valuables. Anyway, I'd stay clear out of her way if I were you.
I appreciate the advice. Will Hagatha not be angered when she discovers you've given your candle away?
What's she gonna do? Turn it into a pumpkin?
Good point.
Besides, I could just blame the dwarf. He's earned himself a bad reputation from the day he moved here. Pity no one can catch him, not even Hagatha.
If I may ask...
Appreciate all you've done, Graham, but I want to spend some quality time with my children. Now be a good boy and run some other errand.
Okay, so that's the end of that with her. Now let us go find Possum again. And then we'll be ready. Oh, I guess we don't have to find Possum yet. Let's do this one other thing and then we'll go back and find Possum. Those screens always scare me. There are, like, bad guys that can pop up if you wait around too long. So, I'm gonna actually put the music volume down a bit. Sorry about the little cut there. My save games are not really appropriate for everybody watching. Mainly because I play this game when I'm kind of angry at my neighbors. As you might have noticed in the previous game. Okay, anyways, let us go right here. This kind of looks... Actually, let me see if I can...
The 2 rows of rocks stretch out like arms across the ground. How odd. It's like they're beckoning you to step between them.
Step between them, huh? Let's do that.
Incredible. The door you have discovered has taken on the appearance of a face. It is silent, however, and almost seems to be waiting for something. It is a stone face.
Stone face. Maybe we could talk to it? I don't know. Let's see.
Greetings. I am King Graham of Daventry. Would you, by any chance, know of the way to a strange island on which stands a quartz tower in which a beautiful woman is being held captive?
You feel more than a little foolish. Surely a door, even one with a face, would neither hear nor understand you.
I am the door of destiny. I am sought out by many, found by few, and opened by none so far. For indeed, only once can I be opened. Such is the magic that I am. Through me will you find the destiny you seek, if you can but perform a task.
Anything!
You feel intense exuberance that you have come so close to your goal in such a short time.
You must bring me the gems of nature.
I beg your pardon?
The stone door rumbles from deep within. For a time, it says nothing. And then...
Gems of 3 I ask of thee to fetch, collect, and bring to me. In water shall you find the first, though not the type to quench your thirst. Spy the second, high in the sky, with wings or no, thou still must fly. Through swampy mire, so it is heard, in lone dark castle lies the third. Should you succeed, my noble king, to your fair maiden I will bring. I warn you though, you should beware, a danger cloaked awaits you there.
Without warning, the stony face falls silent. As you watch, it gradually smooths out to become the mountainside face once more. You notice that, within the door, 3 shallow indentations have sunk into the rock's surface. Presumably, the 3 gems of nature must fit here. Now all you have to do is find them. How did that poem go again?
Okay. Let us head over here.
A piece of paper has blown here in the wind.
I wonder what it says.
The paper is torn and dirty. It looks like a flyer of some sort. You smooth out the torn and tattered paper and read, "Curios I have, to the town do come, awaiting I am."
Gee, I wonder who that could be. Let's head up here. We're gonna head to the town first. I was gonna go see Possum, but let's do everything in town from this point. We're almost done the video for today. Remember, encoding overload is starting to take over. It's okay, we're almost done. Before we talk to him again, real quick, let's talk to her.
Yes?
Could you recommend another good book?
There!
This book is entitled Way Below Your League, a look at sentient aquatic life. Browsing through it, you notice an interesting excerpt.
So once again, this is gonna just be, I'm not gonna read it, I'm just gonna leave it up on the screen for you guys to check out. And it's kind of telling about the area that we're gonna go into next and telling you a little bit more information about it. So especially if you're playing this game without watching me or anything like that, it'd be really good to read it. I've already read them before in the past, so I already know what it's about, but again, it's kind of harder to read. The type of font that is used is more closer to the original font of all these type of games. So I don't think we can.
You have nothing else to say.
Nothing else to say, so let us head out. We're almost done this video, and we'll just talk to this guy here first, and then.
Greetings again, merchant.
Yes, many greetings. Need you have now for my wares of great specialty?
What wares do you sell, good merchant?
For yourself, behold them.
You look over the merchant's wares of great specialty and quickly reevaluate them as junk.
You seem to have quite a selection of, well, quite a selection.
A keen eye have you. In an item or two provoke interest, I might?
A daunting task. Rather, by all means.
This I have.
You appraise the object he holds up to you. It is a simple shell, intricately fashioned into the shape of a comb. The workmanship is unlike anything you have ever seen.
Fascinating. Where did you find such a thing?
Oh, old it is. From ancient times descends. Valuable, without question. Royal property, former, to be sure.
You consider his story. Then you begin wondering which beach he found it on.
If I were to, say, purchase the shell, what would it cost?
A trifle would you expend. 7 golds.
I fear that I did not bring any money.
Curiosity, I find, in one who travels but with nothing to barter brings.
Good point.
Might you trade the shell comb for something?
The merchant ponders over this for a moment.
Of value, many things are. Of fancy, only one I have.
And that is?
Pearls. From curiosity, have you knowledge of the speaking pumpkin that once sat here? Misplaced it has become.
Speaking pumpkin? Oh, that. No, I do not see it anywhere. Sorry.
Okay, so you have to get through to, I would probably say at least, well, once he mentions that he needs pearls, you can't just come up to him and be like, oh, here's a pearl, since you know that's what he wants. So you have to make sure you go through all the dialogue before you can give him the pearl.
Would you be interested in this pearl?
Indeed, I would. In return, the shell I present to you. May you be always groomed well.
The merchant grabs the pearl and tosses the shell comb to you. Then he saunters off. History will decide how greatly you were just swindled.
Oh, what a beauty. This'll be worth a fortune back home.
There we go. Actually, let's look at this statue.
A tall statue of a man stands prominently at the entrance of town. It looks to have been placed here quite a number of years ago. The statue bears a plaque which reads, Count Kaldor, ruler and protector of Kolyma.
Okay. Can we go in here?
The door is locked. A sign next to it reads, Open from noon till sunset. The sun's position in the sky indicates it is currently midday. The owner must not be an early riser.
Okay, let's head down here. We're going to give the basket to Possum and then we're going to end the game. I'm going to start next week's one with the poem once again from the stone wall, just so you guys remember the poem. I might start each episode like that just so you guys remember what the poem is. I'm going to risk it and go through here. Okay, good. Just makes it a little quicker. Now let's give the basket to Possum.
You can't use that there. You hand the basket to Possum.
Thank you, kind sir. Please take this flower. I'm afraid it's all I have to give you.
It is more than enough. I notice that you have picked only yellow flowers.
Of course. Is it not customary for one to pick yellow flowers for another who is gravely ill?
Certainly it is. I'm sorry to hear about your grandma, Possum.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Okay, so that's it for this video. I will see you guys next Monday, and we will continue with King's Quest II, Romancing the Stones. I'll see you guys then. Bye-bye.